This is Paul Singh, the market speculator, with your Twitter chart requests. And let's get started here. Before we do, remember that this is from my swing trading perspective. So if you have this chart request and you're asking about a day trade, a longer term position trade, or maybe even just a swing trade from a different strategy, my analysis might be a little different than yours. So you need to get familiar with my strategy, which you can do on the Bulls on Wall Street website. Take a free trial, and I'll show you at the end of this. Let's begin here. Etsy, an IPO. With IPOs, the first thing I like to do is watch for the range that has been carved out. And here we've got a range from about, we'll say, 13 to the opening day at 35. Now, usually you don't want to be caught in the middle of the range. I like to either enter at the bottom of the range or on a breakout of the top of the range. When you get a breakout at the top of the range, that's when you really get those extended runs. And just about every big stock has done this, or every IPO that has made a run up and has fallen. And off the top of my head, we can think to Cyber, GoPro, even Twitter, Facebook, all of these, they've made these type of moves. So that's what we're looking for with IPOs. Now, when you're within the range, we can see here a nice breakout with Etsy. Looks like it's made its low here, and now has remounted this new 50-day moving average. And I think an entry, a lot of volume, an entry here on a pullback would set up a nice entry. Maybe we make that run up to that initial IPO high, and then we can take some off and then see if it breaks out. AXON, another IPO here, and again, we're carving out this low here down at 17. Now, I think what you need to do here is watch this breakout level at 30. Nice move yesterday. Maybe if it bases in here, you can go for an entry. WYY in a good sector. IT breaking out to new highs here. I usually don't trade $2 stocks, but maybe a little pullback here would set up a good entry. And you've got a nice volume pattern in here. Shop, another IPO. You guys are really loving the IPOs here, and of course you are. That's what's been working lately. I don't really, it's kind of tough for an entry here because you've got this pivot low at 25, the low, and then you've got this pivot low here around 28, and then the high around 42. I'd probably, you could take a shot here with a stop underneath here. That's set up a low risk setup. But what I'd really like to see is a breakout up here of 40. WBAI, like a lot of China stocks, and this is a China gambling stock, so a little different, but that extended move down, now kind of basing here, and the question is it a dead cat bounce? We're going to get a continuation to these lows, or breakout here to the highs at 30. I think it's tough to tell right now, so I'd probably, until we get something letting us know, I'd probably stay away from that one right now. Tesla, made this hard pullback here, kind of based in here. I'd probably want to see a breakout of the highs here before entering. AMBA looked kind of like a dead cat bounce, but now it's recovering here. But again, I don't know if we have a good entry at this level, maybe a little bit of a pullback. LinkedIn, I'd like to see a remount of the 200-day moving average. I need to have a target up here at the gap fill around 250 and maybe it breaks out higher than that. Baba, we've been waiting for it. Put in this low here at 75. Now, putting the same pattern a lot of China stocks have, I'd probably want to see a breakout of the 50-day moving average. KNDI, auto manufacturers, not a whole lot here. I probably wouldn't look to do much of anything there. ABC, nice. Overall, it was in a nice trend here. Pulled back in and now has remounted the 50-day. So I think we've got a decent entry, although I'm a little concerned with the volume pattern right in there. SGYP, now this has been on the breakout, it was our Bulls on Wall Street stock of the week, and now it's consolidating up here. Reached 10. The safest play would probably be a breakout of the 10 level. And then you can see if it can't run up more. Maybe it's put a pivot in here, although we do have a gap fill here. So I'd keep an eye on this pivot level and this gap fill, and maybe you get an entry at one of those levels. Lulu, this was an earnings breakout. Now it's pulled back in here a little bit. I'd want to see a remount of the moving average. Cyber, we've traded this before successfully. Right now, really tough to tell. For a long, I'd probably want to see a remount of the 50-day moving average, get it back on trend. And then if you're looking to short it, maybe you can even take a shot here with a stop above this pivot high. FISV, now this is a stock I'm not really familiar with, but nice trend here at highs. I probably wanted to come back in a little bit. Now, FE, another cybersecurity, has got the feel of maybe it's ready to turn down here and break down below the 50-day. Some negative volume has come in. Maybe it bounces here. Tough to tell. It's on my focus list, and I'm waiting to see what it does and if it gives us a clue. Hal, this is pretty negative pattern here, but tough to short at this level. So you need to come up a little bit. Netflix, Netflix, Google, and a few other these big names here doing really well. This is an earnings breakout. Now, I'd like to see it come back in a little bit. Now, I will definitely look to enter Netflix. Fit, another IPO. We've traded this one successfully, but we got out a little bit early, and now it's making that run towards 50. If it could pull back in here to about 44, this is kind of the old pivot range. And with an IPO, how old is it? It's only about a week old, but I'd like to enter at that level and then see if it runs up to 50. FMI, not really much of anything there. Blue, now I was looking at blue as a dead cat bounce type biotech, and maybe pair that with a stronger biotech. So short blue, go long a stronger one. And it has kind of failed here at the 50-day, which we were expecting, and maybe it makes a run back down now. And that's it. That's 21 stocks. I actually got a lot more requests on that, but not surprisingly, because this has been a pretty narrow market. A number of these I got 5 or 6 requests for. So it's 21 stocks here, some good setups. I would say out of the 21, at least 12 or 15 are on my focus list. So good stocks you guys picked out. And I'll do this again next weekend. So keep an eye out on Twitter. I'll let you guys know when I'm taking chart requests, and we'll do another one of these. Now, if you haven't been a member of the part-time swing trade report, and this is great for full-time or part-time traders, great for someone with a job. I do the research for you, and then you can do one of two things. I send out trade alerts so you can trade with me, but really the best way to do it is to take my focus list. I've done the extra research for you, and then you can make your own trades off that. You can take a free trial here. Just go to bullsonwallstreet.com, go over to professional trading, go to part-time, and then you can try it out for free, or just get started with the member report. And you get a nightly report of what we're going to be looking at for the next day, my trade alerts intraday, and you also usually get an intraday report, either video or written, where I go over what I'm looking at during that day. So give that a try. Otherwise, next weekend, I'll do another one of these chart requests. Keep an eye out, and I'll ask you for your requests.